his Pixar rankings. Okay.
Carson, what's the rankings?
Hold on.
Oh wow.
Oh, we're live. You can't fool me.
Damn it.
Good job, Nathan.
What's going on, guys? We are back. Yep.
Woo!
Woo! We are back with Hyperspace Hype, episode number 49. I wish it was 50. It would have been more dramatic. That's fine. We're back.
Wow.
And it's been a time. Joining us as always, we have Evan.
Yeah, we are back. I'm super excited. We haven't had our last podcast since the end of Mandalorian season 2. Was that our last episode doing the finale of Mando?
We did a Loki showrunner report, I think, for Cassian or something.
That's right.
Yes, we did.
And no K2 in season 1? Like, will it be a season 1? Like,
I remember that. Okay. But I'm glad to be back. I've missed Hyperspace Hype. I love Star Wars, of course. There's a lot of news that we didn't get to cover. And we're diving into our next Star Wars TV show, The Bad Batch. So we're going to have some stuff to cover for the next 16 weeks or so. So this is going to drive us throughout the summer. There's a lot of stuff to go over. A lot of interesting Star Wars news to go through. So I'm hyped. Let's do it.
Also joining us, we have Carson.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? It is so good to be back talking Star Wars. I got a Tarkovsky Clone Wars background. I got my High Republic book. I am ready to talk about all this news that is kind of been slow since Investor Day, but there's definitely some stuff to talk about and some stuff that has come out that we've really enjoyed and some character work and some different things, comics. It's all there. I'm super excited to be talking Star Wars again because, it's like my favorite thing to do. So let's do this.
And this would be the part of the show where we would talk about the Visions trailer, if we had one.
Oof. Where the fuck is that? Yeah.
I know, I need it. Like, when's it supposed to premiere?
I'm pretty sure it said summer 2021.
What?
I could be wrong. I think it just said 2021. Yeah. I think with Bad Batch ending like in 16 weeks or 15 weeks now, I assume Visions could be fall. They're probably going to premiere after Loki, same time as What If.
Maybe. Well, I was thinking maybe What If will go first, but
What If's going to be long as hell, right? That's like at least 24 episodes.
Is it?
Is it what?
Right? I thought they're going to do for each MCU movie. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think that's. Is that? I never heard.
I thought that was a thing. I thought it was like, we got Captain America.
They're showing very little in their trailer. Then, like,
I thought it was only specific chosen ones, but I
thought it was every MCU movie.
I think that's what Feige said. I would love that.
Somebody fact check me.
I don't think there is a fact out there. I don't think anyone knows.
Wow. I mean, I know everything, so.
But kicking it off, we had a very fun May the 4th, Revenge of the 5th, whatever you decide to celebrate. Star Wars Day couldn't go live. We were all busy, but it was a fun time. It was Evan's birthday. The man,
yes, it was.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah.
But then we got our first episode of The Bad Batch, which was a 70-minute premiere. And then later this week, we got episode 2 of The Bad Batch, which was actually a full 30 minutes, which I didn't think it was going to be that long. So I was like, dang, we already got like a theatrical runtime of Star Wars content within a week. But The Bad Batch has officially premiered. We've voiced our opinions of such a project being unveiled. But now that we've seen it, how are we feeling?
I was wrong.
I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, guys.
I say this a lot. I'm never wrong. I'm hardly ever wrong. Like 10% of the time. And I remember Bad Batch was getting announced, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Because it was during that announcement of like all these weird announcements that I wasn't really excited for. Ahsoka was getting teased. Mandalorian season 3 when all this stuff was going on. There's just a lot of Star Wars announcements that I wasn't really vibing. And so they added Bad Batch to this, and I'm like, really? Like, we only saw the first 4 episodes of them in the Clone Wars. I thought they were cool. Weren't my favorite parts of the Clone Wars, season 7, but it was cool. So I'm like, how much can you really dive into a group of characters that are pretty much like caricatures of certain like things? Like you have Hunter, who is basically Rambo. Then you have Tech. Like, they have certain roles. How much depth can you get? And I was shocked. Like Ninja Turtles. But I was shocked. I had a lot of fun with this. I'm already seeing a lot of good character development with these characters. A lot of interesting surprises. The animation continues to be very crisp and clean. I just had a blast watching this. It was especially the premiere and this recent episode. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Carson, let's also get your take before we go like beat by beat of the premiere.
I really, really enjoyed it. Like Evan said, I thought it did a really good job. I was worried, like, how the state of the galaxy was kind of going to be, like, set in this show. And I thought it did a really good job of, like, framing it through the Bad Batch's perspective instead of trying to, like, lift too much and do a lot of things. So I really like that they were literally walking around Kamino and, like, figuring out, like, oh, like, what the Empire's doing, or they're just that shot of them standing there and, like, still think something's not wrong with the regs, and they're the only ones not like saluting and cheering, whatever, like stuff like that. I thought it was really, and like the how do I say Kaminoans,
yeah.
Like lying to the Empire and being like kind of malicious and sneaky of like, because there's a power struggle starting to happen. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta fend for my people. Like, you know, this is kind of sus. That like
my Crimson Dawn show at
right. God, don't remind me. So anyways, I thought it did a really good job doing that, and then also adding a dimension really fast to the characters that I kind of, like Evan just said, were caricatures in the first 4 episodes of Season 7 of the Clone Wars. So I really appreciated that characterization, and then I think Omega has just kind of stole the show in terms of everything. And yeah, let's get into it, because I do have some minor gripes with the premiere, but
Interesting.
It has nothing to do with the Bad Batch itself. It's the thing that everyone's been talking about. But yeah, we'll get into it.
Our first topic, maybe.
I'm not on the grapevine, so I don't know what's going on.
All right, hold on. Yeah, because I've heard some rumbles, but
what is happening?
Okay. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But
let's say it then.
Let's like get into the episode here. Like just like from the start, we get the Clone Wars logo. And it's pure red Season 7-ness that then crisped away the Bad Batch, and I was like, yes, a nice christening of the new era. And then they start off with the Tom Kane announcer voice, and I'm like, God damn it, are we in Season 8? Like,
yeah, Revenge of the Sith animation.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god.
I was like, God damn it, they got me again.
Nathan's like piecing together the clips, like pausing mid episode. He's like, I can't even start. I gotta go. I gotta make this cut.
Siege of the Sith 2.0 edit. Here it comes. Like,
revise, revisions, final cut.
Look, I'm just saying, Lucasfilm, if you wanted to do Revenge of the Sith in that art style, and you let me piece together that all fluently,
do all of Star Wars in this art style. I would love it.
Oh yeah. To that same point, Galaxy of Adventure is also great.
Where's that at? Come on.
Visions!
Visions!
Anyway, we start going through, like, you know, it's Revenge of the Sith times, and we're still pre-Order 66, and I'm like, God damn it, they're going to do it again. And then we get down to the planet that we're on, which I'm kind of blurry on.
Valir?
There was snow on the ground. I don't know. Snow planet.
Not Hoth/Ilum.
Not Hoth or Ilum, but a snow planet.
And I didn't catch I forgot the name of the master, so I wasn't familiar when I saw her.
Depa Palaba?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then out of nowhere, who's running down that mountain but a voice-cracked Freddie Prinze Jr. walking down?
Listen, here's my conundrum. I didn't even know it was him. I couldn't even recognize his voice. Number one.
Okay.
Which just shows I haven't rewatched Rebels in like a fat minute.
This is actually interesting because I remember when we had like the animated like hologram of this avatar of Kanan in the Clone Wars Season 7. I was like, and he was in the trailer, and I was theorizing then, like, will we get Kanan in Order 66?
And I forgot about that whole
now
thing.
It's kind of come true, just outside of the show. But I from that, my own theorizing, I recognized him.
So you knew from the jump too, right, Nathan?
Yeah, as soon as
I don't know what I think it was because I was exhausted and tired, but I was like, oh, Caleb, like, new character, cool.
Oh my gosh!
Guys, he doesn't look like him. I'm sorry, he doesn't look anything like him. And
he looks like a shorter Kanan.
He's so white. He doesn't look anything like they whitewashed him completely.
This has actually been a topic going around.
Really?
Yeah.
Of like the troubling of like whitewashing the characters.
I did not recognize him for.
Who else did they whitewash?
I think some clones are pointing. They're also complaining about
Really?
They were also complaining about Saw's look, but I couldn't get on board with that because he looks how he does in his first ever appearance.
He's pretty light skinned in
My thing was just the Kanan thing that I didn't have the issue with the other stuff.
I think they were like people were also bringing down like Saw's like eye color compared to like Forrest Whitaker's, but like again he started in the Clone Wars, so I didn't really.
And the thing is, like, I'm usually leaning on this. I'm like, design wise, I'm like, fine, like it's animation, like just it doesn't like go for whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. But like, I didn't recognize the character, and I haven't rewatched Rebels in a while, and I've read A New Dawn, and I'm like, I didn't remember the Master's name. And
there was also the comic as well for. Kanan.
Yeah, great comic. I thought that was gonna be your gripe because it moved away from the comic book.
Oh, it was no,
I haven't read it in a while.
I've heard people say that. And I was a little bit disappointed too because I think whenever you retcon something, there's always two arguments. Like, what was it in service of? First of all, I think in service of Bad Batch, I think it worked well. But is it better than what came before? And I think, I think it's a mix.
I was seeing I was seeing a tweet thread from Jim does Star Wars on Twitter. He was talking about. Yeah, he was talking about like similar situation with like Ahsoka with the Siege of Sith. Like the dialogue may be different, but the circumstances are still the same. So it's and it was kind of like from a viewpoint, or maybe it was Jason Mason or somebody. But they were basically talking about how like Star Wars being viewed as like through that mythology, different storyteller standpoint, as opposed to just like the hard fact.
The hard canon. Yeah, and I think that's something Pablo Hidalgo always really reference,
which makes sense and should make sense, but also I look at it from the show's contextual perspective, and it's like it's being used for a cameo. I mean, like if you put it, because it's not gonna like we're not gonna get a Kanan show building up. You know what I mean? Like it's Nathan's like, I'll make it.
Don't put that in the
Lucasfilm was like, joke's on you. You get a Rebels prequel, and I was like, fuck.
Right, and so. Then I thinking about it from that, and I'm like, oh, then it's kind of overriding it just for a cameo instead of like creating a more comprehensive version of it. I guess in my eyes,
it's a window.
I mean, I literally reread the first 2 issues of the comic book after I saw the episode because the first 2 issues are the ones that cover this event. I think, of course, in the comic book, you get more of Kanan's internal thoughts. And like there's more of a like back and forth between him and Depa Palaba, but I guess it kind of does end in a similar vein. Like she gets surrounded, Kanan wakes up. In the comic book, Kanan has a holocron. In this one, he doesn't have a holocron on him.
That we know of. I mean,
that we know of. Yeah,
he's off really fast.
Could be in his pocket. Yeah. There's some big pockets.
He got a full robe, man.
Yeah, exactly. But then he runs off, which is just like what happened in the show. But then he gets followed by Commander Gray and Commander Styles in the comic book. I think we saw Commander Gray in this show, but he was wearing a different color. Like in the comic books, he's like red armor, similar to what you wear in Coruscant. And the other one, I think in the TV show, I think he was green or blue. I forget what kind of armor he had on. Mm-hmm. But he didn't really have much in this one, which in the comic book, Commander Gray has a great arc. In terms of his following of trying to track down Kanan. But in this one, they kind of switched it out by having the Bad Batch intercept everything that's going on.
And it works well for Hunter, I think. I think it really works well for setting up that contrast and kind of like, like seeing how it's affecting, kids particularly as like, as a clone, as someone who's like has this individuality compared to a lot of clones. Like to see him kind of like sympathize with those situations of like people being kind of groomed into things or thrown into situations like and kind of wanting to solve that or help them. Obviously we see that with Omega later on. I thought that was really well done, and I think it still flows really well with A New Dawn with Kanan trying to suppress the Force. And I remember we talked about that way back when of like Kanan like literally just trying to forget his past life through that frustration. I think this is like a nice little stitch in that frustration. Of course, if they just would have started talking and like, hey, like we didn't do it, but like there's no time to like do that, and it's kind of the sadness of it. So again, depressing scene.
Let's like go through because there's like quite a bit of stuff. So like Kanan is rushing down the mountain, I guess he's like bringing in the Bad Batch themselves, showing them the path to the Snart. That's the only backup they're getting right now because everybody's being redirected, I think, to like
To
Coruscant or
Coruscant,
something.
yeah. What's happening down there? I think something important's going down.
The Chancellor? Oh, Obi-Wan has intercepted Grievous on Utapau? Fuck.
Ooh, what's going on here? Yeah.
We know, but also, yeah, like, they're like, oh my god, it's Clone Force 99. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. But yeah, there is like watching it on. It's like, it's cool like seeing back in action. I'm like, and it's funny because like seeing them in that action set piece is really like what I was initially like only vibing Bad Batch to be. So when I went into the show, I was just like, what are we gonna get? I don't know like how you're gonna sell me on a full like show of these people. And of course we start developing them later, which I appreciate. But yeah, you know, we start getting things rolling, and then like Kanan's gonna run off with Bad Batch like further the mission. That's cool. And as soon as I saw that clone step out of frame, I was like, please no.
Yeah.
I know.
You know the hologram's coming, and you're like,
oof.
And it's funny because then like it's like
It is?
It's not funny. What's funny? This isn't. But what's funny is just like they keep springing up stuff that I was theorizing was gonna be in the Clone Wars finale. Like I thought the Bad Batch might come back, and I was like, will they have an effect with the Hibber chips or not? And one of them does, and we'll discuss that. But you know, at first they're just like, what's Order 66? I don't understand. What does that mean?
Yeah. They're like, I've heard of Order 67, not 66. What's going on there?
1 through 65, yes, but
yeah.
Order it's like Wrecker's like, was that like a combo on the menu? Like but yeah, then you know, Kanan's running away, and it's just like I'm like, god damn it, like you know, I have to like go through all this again. And it hurts, and like his master does like the same thing he ends up doing at the end of his time that then Ezra does. Oof. And I'm like, oh
gosh, the parallels.
Filoni just loves to hurt me with the parallels. He did it with Ahsoka, he's doing it with Kanan.
And did he, because his name is the first thing in the credits. I had no idea that he created
I don't
this.
think so. I don't he created the Bad Batch,
right?
I think technically he created this show, but he's not really involved. He's like executive producer.
That's what I thought. I'm like, who
but it's the people who did like Resistance, right? Like the people who did Resistance.
I think I remember reading that.
Were in charge of this show, but his name's out front because you know it's Dave Filoni.
Yeah, of course.
That was the same instance with Resistance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think his name is prominent.
But it said executive produced instead of created by. I'm pretty sure.
Man, I miss Resistance.
Nathan, you gotta watch it.
I gotta like
watch it. Goddamn.
I know.
Literally,
I gotta watch it.
You're gonna watch an episode of Bad Batch right after, then you're just gonna go and watch Resistance episode or 2 of Resistance, and then go to bed.
You're right.
No reaction. We don't need your.
I want to. I want to immortalize it. But anyway, we start like running through. Kanan's on the run. They're like Hunter mostly is like worried about the kid, and he goes off Crosshair. It was acting kind of sketchy.
Yeah, this is interesting. At this point, I thought Crosshair was not really affected by the chip, but just more so like that was just his personality. Like he wanted to go against the Jedi. Like he didn't really mind it. I didn't really think it was like that was revealed later on that his chip was more influenced than the rest. But at this point, I just thought like, oh, it's just Crosshair just being a dick.
Yeah. And you know, and they're even like trying to talk Kanan down from the tree, and then he like fires this sniper out of nowhere, and I'm like, "What are you doing?
Please,
please!" And even Hunter is like us; he's just like, "Why? What?" And he's just like chasing after Kanan, and he's just like, "The good soldier follow orders." And I'm like, "God damn it!"
Yeah, he says that exact thing. I can't remember.
He does.
If it was
He does. Crosshair says that.
Yeah,
he says like 5 times this episode.
At least a couple. But yeah, they keep trudging along. Hunter gets like personal one-on-one with Kanan, and it's seemingly like almost like
talks him down.
Yeah, but you know, the other clones are heading up from the rear, and you know, Hunter, he says he's just as confused. He doesn't know what's going on either. But then Kanan takes that leap of faith to just like get out of there, and then you get that nice what I think is a callback to the Starkiller fight.
Force Awakens shot.
Great shot. Yeah, I love it.
So good. But in the sunlight. So cool.
I think which was, at least in JJ's commentary, it was Steven Spielberg's idea to do the separation earthquake shot.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Huh.
So pretty interesting.
Huh.
Thank you,
Steven.
Spielberg. Oh,
Yeah.
that guy knows how to make some movies. Huh.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
fun little Star Wars tidbit for you.
Interesting. Yeah.
Lucasfilm next project, Indiana Jones 5.
I know. Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
I thought it was a great shot. Like, it's always just plain and simple telling us the divide between the clones and the Jedi, where they're going on at this point. Even though Hunter doesn't want there to be a divide, he's kind of like, it's kind of interesting because I think Hunter, as we learned in like Clone Wars season 7, he's not the biggest fan of Jedi. Like, him and Anakin were having that back and forth. But I think even him is like, I don't want to go against Jedi just because I heard that they attacked like the Chancellor. Like, he knows them to be good people, so even he's confused.
Yeah, and he sees Kanan fluttering in the situation of like, this kid doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have a choice. He's just thrown into it like we are. Like,
Yeah.
Didn't Hunter have a respect for like fighting with Anakin like at the beginning of that season? Pretty sure. I mean, they were at least like.
Yeah. When I say back and forth,
yeah.
I think Anakin more so is just like not one of them, or was it Rex? Somebody had like a
I know.
antagonism.
Well, yeah, no, like Rex was butting heads with the Bad Batch, but I just mean like in terms of like the whole Jedi dynamic, I think like they were pretty okay.
Yeah.
They were just like, yeah, okay, let's just another fight, let's go.
Yeah.
But then Crosshair comes up, and Hunter's just like, I stunned him when he jumped, he fell. And then Crosshair's just like examining the whole situation, and
it's like, can you just stop?
Let it go. And then he's just like, then why were you looking forward and not down? All right, Sherlock Holmes, fucking
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he wouldn't let this go for like at least 5 hours. Every other second he was like,
but then like
you dropped
Hunter,
the kid, man.
Yeah, but then Hunter's also like, some of us don't like to watch, and I'm just like, the
Ow.
humanity,
Mm.
clone humanity, go. So then they make their way back to Camino, and they're just like, what's going on? Like, everybody's in such like strong formation, and Tech is even just like trying to ask the soldier, and he just like bumps him out of the way, and he's like, oh, that's normal, because they're out.
Right.
Yeah,
Anyway.
this was fascinating because we haven't seen Camino post Order 66. We don't really know what was going on during this time, so I liked everything that was going on at this facility, and like, you immediately can tell like the individuality of the clones is already starting to disappear. Like, nobody had like markings on their helmets; they all looked very much the same. I mean, I know Tech made the joke like, oh, they're all very similar here, but yeah, it just looked very interesting.
Yeah, they're also like looking around. And, yeah, you see like all the shock troopers. And it's like, what's the Royal Guard doing here? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then they're also like carrying just like this one body of a Jedi that was deployed there, and just the saber drops. I'm just like, we're in it, huh?
Right, and then do we start seeing stormtroopers too? Like,
no,
at
it's
this
just
point?
clone troopers,
No.
but they're just pure white everywhere.
right?
now.
Okay, so it's kind of a prelude deal of like,
Yeah.
they're
Honestly,
just
they're
kinda-
acting like them.
right. So it's got invisible
Yeah,
stormtrooper.
and that point also gets pretty interesting later.
Very
when
much so,
when
yeah.
Tarkin shows up, but like first before that, they start like getting like their bearings in their room.
I love that. It's like the last place on that base is like normal,
Yeah,
Do they meet Omega before this or after this?
I think they did bump into
In
her,
the hallway.
Right before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
she just
bump
says
into her in the
hi.
hallway. I love her. She's the
She's
best.
great. She already has a Disney Plus icon. She's
Amazing.
Oh yes, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna be part of your family. You just don't know it yet. Basically, like we're the same, but I'm not gonna tell you.
You want to
like,
adopt me? Adopt me.
I'm for sale. Like, I don't want to stand with these long neck weirdos. Like, come please. Like,
Long neck beard.
This chick is trying to screw over Fives, man. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
she
man.
tried to like edit my DNA, so like leave me alone. Anyways,
Yeah, she's great already. I love her. She's amazing. We'll get into it like towards the second episode, like what her purpose is. Like, what's the purpose of creating her?
very interesting.
Very
I've seen
interesting.
horrible theories already.
Oh no!
My
she
theory-
is a Palpatine mixed
No.
with Jango clone. And,
my only logical theory is that it was just like, it was like I don't know if it was like a coding error. It was just like,
Right,
this just
just
happened.
yeah, like it's just a chromosome that just went okay.
Yeah.
Oops, like that's all I
Think
need.
so?
You're gonna tell me like nothing. There's not been one hiccup like in the cloning process.
Right.
I don't think so. I think
I mean, sure, not at this point, but I mean,
yeah.
shit happens.
I mean,
In the second episode, we get a big quote where
Yeah.
Cut is like, "They don't do things without a purpose." So
which worries me that it's
don't set up the audience.
yeah, but I don't think we should be worried. I don't think it's going to be anything Force or Skywalker related.
We see the scientist from the Mando out of nowhere, and I'm like, fuck. Here we go. Here we go again. But
Luke Skywalker comes in and takes Omega.
I got him. I still have to make my hot top video. Mando season 2 broke me.
Yeah. For all we know, she's like she just was like coded to be like an assassin or something simple of like like just like different than the clones, but like kind of can blend in.
Man, I'm still seeing Daniel Logan's march around like
I don't know.
They start very young, but
yeah. Continue on though.
Yeah, so then they get their bearings and then they get. Tech seems to be aware. They're like, yeah, they have chips, which they don't seem to remember him telling them later in the next episode.
Yeah, because he doesn't say chips. He says like we've been programmed. By something. Yeah. And then in the second episode, he's like, yeah, I figured when I say we got programmed that there had to be a chip in.
Yeah. Well, he was like even bringing up like, yeah, but we're not, or at least most of us aren't affected by it. It's because like Crosshair is just like. Because they even have like that great dynamic going back and forth. He's just like, good soldiers follow orders, and then Hunter's like, since when do you do that? Like,
yeah, we've literally never followed orders.
Yeah, and then like Crosshair never has an answer. He just like it continues on, just like orders. But then they get the report that there's going to be a meeting announcement through the Chancellor himself, and it was like, "Oh, this is something we don't want to miss." The one meeting we don't want to miss. And they show up and they get in line, and you get that shot of the trailer where it's just basically just Palpatine at the Senate, just declaring it's the new Empire.
He's like mumbling. He's like mumbling. I had to turn on subtitles. He's like, oh, I'm like, what is this?
Really?
And then I heard the trailer line, and then I could like tune in.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay.
I mean, it's the movie dialogue. They're just like putting the sound effects in.
Yeah, it's just like warped.
Yeah. I always have subtitles on when I'm watching this show. Always.
Yeah.
I don't like to because like I might read it ahead and spoil.
I do that too.
I have subtitles on literally every show I'm watching. Close to every show I'm watching.
But however, if I'm watching like an anime that's subbed, I'm like trying to like speed read because like Japanese is so fast. Like. But yeah, so they're like, it's a new galactic empire, scarred and deformed, everything.
Peace and security in our new empire.
New empire. All right, shut up. I'm an idiot.
Your new empire.
Give me the animated fight.
Oh my god, can you imagine Mustafar in animation?
Oh god.
Some fans have made some. Like, it looks pretty good. But imagine what Lucasfilm money can do.
I just want to see lava textures. I just want to see what that would look like. I don't care about it.
I mean, we've seen what they could do in like the Mortis arc, so
yeah.
And let's get the people from Invincible to do the fight.
I gotta watch it.
Rated R. Rated this. Anakin, think.
There are people who will do that.
It's small price to pay.
Okay. But yeah, that was a good speech. Good speech.
Yeah, and like Omega's there too. She's also just like,
what's going on? Yeah.
But yeah, then they start like heading back around, trying to figure stuff out. And then Tarkin arrives to the facility, and that's where things get really interesting because I'm like, yes, the part of Star Wars politics that I'm really intrigued by. And then,
yes, yeah, this is part I was really surprised. Like, I didn't think we were going to dive into this. I never really thought about like. I mean, we know in the original trilogy that stormtroopers are a thing, clone troopers are gone. Right.
Yeah,
and we kind of figured like just throughout like as fans speculating like, oh yeah, because clone troopers got phased out. It's just plain and simple, right? But like, now we get a whole discussion about it.
Immediately, like Tarkin's just like, at half the cost, we can expand the army versus the clones. Even though they're making the argument, clones are way more precise, but it's more like a thing of like, do you want the quality or the quantity?
Tarkin, the economist over here.
Pretty much. And I'm just like, I was sitting there, and I think I even said in my video, I was just like, which is just more lives lost, you asshole. But all right. That's the Empire. I hate the Empire so much. They will continuously find a way for me to just hate them. Whether like Solo
even in episode 2 already, I'm just like, oh my god, chain codes and like
already
just fascism just right away. I'm just like, great, like.
But yeah, this whole conversation was incredibly fascinating because from Tarkin's perspective, he's like, okay, clones are very precise, but they're expensive, and we don't really need them anymore, especially with the war being over. Like, there's not a need to create tens of hundreds of thousands of clones for nothing.
And they also take a long time to grow, even if it is like accelerated. It takes years versus like you can get a recruit like now. Like,
exactly, they take a long time to grow. We can get recruits easily, especially with the whole propaganda of like the Jedi turned against our Chancellor. Right. There's going to be a lot of recruits already there.
Because Palpatine established the perfect timing for people to be vulnerable in terms of like, oh, I have no other choice other than just like listen to these people because they control the money, the government, my food supply, my job, my everything.
Like, we talked about it in the final 2 seasons of the Clone Wars. Really dived into the economy of like the Republic and everything. Like there was a whole 3-episode arc with Padme and everything, and like the banking things.
Ooh, yeah.
Where the Republic really
banking clan or whatever.
I love that episode because people were bored by it, but it really centered how Palpatine and the Republic really had a monopoly on a lot of the like economy, the money in the Republic, and it kind of really was going into funding this new empire. And as a Palpatine, as he's growing this new empire, is like, okay, we don't need clones anymore. And it kind of goes into like his ships as well in the original trilogy. The reason they have so many TIE fighters because they're easy to create. They don't have a hyperdrive, so it's like really he's creating less stronger things. Like he's taking away clones, he's taking away better ships for more, like Nathan said, quantity over quality, and that was very fascinating.
For the illusion of the Empire being everywhere and being the security, and
exactly
it all ties together, and it's such a George Lucas thing, and I was like so glad to see like that little political edge especially with the Kaminoans and everything.
Yeah. I think the names are this episode. Nala Su and Nala Se, by the way.
There's that little scene. It's later on, but I just wanted to mention it quick. It's just like, oh, say nothing. Like, we'll just see how this goes. I'm like,
yeah,
dang,
this is amazing. On them. Like, this is the kind of politics I really hope we get in Cassian Andor.
Yes,
because like this is delving into the immediate aftermath of Revenge of the Sith and the politics there in terms of clones and stormtroopers. But I hope we see something very similar in Cassian Andor with Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and Tarkin as well. Maybe.
Yeah. And then like pretty soon they're just like, all right, well, hey, if you think your clones are really that worthwhile, let's run some tests and prove it. And specifically, we bring out the Bad Batch because like the shining stars of very capable, but not very orthodox, as it were. But they bring him into so they were also got like Crosshair filed a report that Hunter let Kanan go.
Yeah,
of course he did.
That. Yeah, he did. That was messed up.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like one of those cop shows where like the new rookie cop writes a report that goes against like the superior detective. He's like, "You wrote a report against me? Like we're buddies. Like what are you doing?"
And that is such an interesting thing too, because again, in the second episode of like how data is power, and like that's so interesting. Like already in their program, like okay, I gotta tell Palpy upstairs like that this is going on, and they just have it, and Tarkin can just pull.
I'm telling Mom,
literally, but it's like it's scary because they have. Eventually, they're gonna have just like this database of everything that's linked to the Empire, and and it's just like, oh my god, like they just have so much at their disposal so quickly already, because of the clones and their inhibitor chips. And
also, I didn't even like bring up, but like when like Palpatine like made his like Hitler speech, like they're like instantly they're cheering, and I'm like, did you program that?
Crazy.
Like, what are you guys really cheering about? Like, I don't know. It just sounds good.
It's truly brainwash. Of the highest order. But yeah, like then they go into like the simulation fighting the different turrets, and it's like, oh, it's pretty easy. And then Tarkin's just like live fire, and it's just the Kaminoan just like, I must protest. Like, that's we paid for this, and he's like, and we'll pay you back. Fucking do it. Like,
but they still made it so there was live fire, which I thought is absolutely hilarious. Like,
yeah,
you didn't want your thing destroyed.
Right. They also the Bad Batch do not have live fire. So they're like prototype Death Troopers. It looked like from like one of the first iterations.
Yeah, stronger battle droids. Yeah.
Yeah, and without that live fire, it really couldn't break through. So
This was fascinating. Was Tarkin doing this to eliminate the Bad Batch, or was he doing this
I
to
think it was like truly testing them,
truly testing them? Like, did he want them to die, or did he like?
I
It
think
seemed like
it's
he didn't care if they
frustrating,
died.
I think he didn't care, but like if they're like usable, then sure.
Okay, yeah,
Because Tarkin's a dick.
he really is. But I love him.
With his
Have you guys read the Tarkin
baggy
book?
pants.
I haven't. It's one of those like last remaining ones on there.
I
that
Yeah.
need to
I
get to.
haven't, but I was told about like this one scene where he was like the scene with like Tarkin, like I think he was like asking like his like part of his family like do you care about me? And they were just like being very robotic with
Savage.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
basically like a logistical like Spock family thing.
Oh my
I think
God.
Tarkin was the first Star Wars canon book that I read. I think it was Tarkin, then
It
Lost
was one of
Stars.
the first published, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like fall 2015 or
Wow.
2014. Fall 2014, I think. I read Tarkin, then Lost Stars, then Aftermath, and yeah.
Wasn't that like the book where like everyone was like, why does Vader respect Tarkin so much in A New Hope? And this is why.
This is why. Yeah, they had a great dynamic in the book. But yeah, I like Tarkin. He's a great character.
Absolutely, with his baggy pants.
I know.
But yeah, then they seemingly get sent on a mission to take down some
Separatists.
they're told they're separatists, but then as soon as they get there, it's like, wait, there's children down there.
And this was a play by Tarkin because he said like they're very skilled. We saw what happened. Like they took down those droids even during live fire.
but they're loyal.
How loyal are they?
Yeah.
Like they're
And-
great, but if they're not loyal against us, they gotta go because
And then, like,
that's bad.
At first, Hunter's like, there's children down there, and then like Tech like runs like diagnostic stuff, and he's just like, oh, they're also Republic. There are forces. Like, why would he order a strike against our own forces? And Crosshair's just like, call it.
Jeez, Crosshair.
I'm like, there's children.
He's like,
just
I don't care.
call it. He's like, he's still following the
Like,
command.
Give me the green light. Give me the green light.
Yeah, and then whenever he's not, he's just like, maybe you're not suited. Like trying to get that rank up.
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh my god.
This
But
was fascinating because I thought as soon as I heard separatists, I'm like, oh, are we going to see actual separatists? Like I remember Cassian Andor was a separatist. Like, are we going to see like those actual human separatists? But it turned out to be just like rogue
forces.
rebels. Yeah.
I would be curious if they actually did explore like these like remaining separatists like in the new fold of the galaxy.
Exactly, because we haven't really
Cassian
seen
has
that.
to. Cassian has to, right? I mean,
I hope so, but I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sure Andor will have flashbacks.
because there's still a lot of questions, even among regular Star Wars fans, who are like, "What happened to the Separatists after Order 66? Like, we saw Newt Gunray and them the leadership get taken out in Mustafar,
Yeah.
but what happens to the regular people like Cassian and
right.
his
They were
family?
strong along, and kind of learn that it was just like
Because they hated the Republic, and of course
Right.
they're going to hate the Empire because it's the same thing. So, yeah, interesting.
But then they're captured, and who do we see is leading them? But Saw Gerrera himself, who will age phenomenally in 5 years by Fallen Order.
this scene is so good. I love this
It
scene.
is. It's just. It was nice to also see like a less weary Saw
To have hope in people and to be so energetic about this is now that we have to strike now.
That man had so much trust. He handed Hunter the pistol.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he gave him the ultimatum of like, you have a choice to make and I can't make it for you, basically is what this scene was about.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really because again, it just like this whole clone thing is so interesting how all of, Clone Wars and now this, we're just getting all these different things of like how the clones have to reckon with having human choices and making their own call. And I love that. And I guess I was worried that the Bad Batch was going to stray away from that, but already in these first 2 episodes, I love that like that's at the crux of every choice that they make is like figuring out what they want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really thought Bad
Exactly.
Batch was going to be like an instance of like how like early Clone Wars kind of was, where it was like, here's the silly adventure of the week, we're gonna have some fun.
Right.
But then like right from the jump, they're like, come in close.
Yeah.
I thought
And
the same
it
thing.
works.
With them, yeah.
It works so well, and I think they nailed the balance between the scope and the character without. Because I was worried that it was going to be too like broad stroking and just jump around everywhere. But like we're with the Bad Batch like 90% of the time, and I'm like, it's absolutely the way to do it, and it's worked wonders these first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be mission of the week. It's like, oh, they're gonna blow stuff up. It's gonna be like awesome Expendables, like
Right.
every week. Yeah, it worked
Yeah.
out. It was really good.
And then after that talk with Saw, they kind of like just are trekking back. They also, well, Hunter and Crosshair have another confrontation. They're just like, are you going soft? You know, you letting kids go? And I'm like, he's fucking human. Like,
I know you just want to go into his brain and just go, pluck it out.
At this point, he's really saying like, "You're not fit to command. You're not fit to lead us anymore." And I'm like, "Oh wow!" Like,
it's my turn. Like,
yeah.
like, it's like a, it's almost like a Raph Leo situation in like in such a dark manner, but like kind of. Get hell with you, Leo. But yeah, then like Hunter like saves Crosshair by well, I don't know if he saved him, but he like took out a probe droid that was spying on them, which Tarkin now has the info. But they go back to Camino, which they're ultimately brought in. But before that, Omega's going around with our little bot buddy that was helping out Fives in his investigation.
I love those droids, by the way.
Yeah,
they're a cool droid. I think.
Yeah, he's like, I'm DX, but 5, like 40 numbers, and I'm like, yeah. Nice.
I think Cad Bane also had the same droid when he was like in the Clone Wars as well.
I think he had like a small.
In an underrated arc when they when he raids the temple. Yeah, that's the droid that's in his little like moody apartment.
Exactly, and sadly he had to die because Cad Bane puts a bomb on it and blows it up.
Jerk.
Yeah.
Tragic. Cad Bane doesn't care about that.
At what cost?
We can see Cad Bane in the show too, by the way. I hope so.
That's square off against Boba getting animated.
I don't want that to happen.
Well, it's the.
You tell me a Boba kills Cad Bane? Fuck out of here.
I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, they used the old Bad Batch footage for like their test to show its celebration, and then they're like, "It's in the Clone Wars." So
Boba Fett is just now just seeing like different characters. I'm just like, they're so much more interesting than Boba Fett. It's just
I've always liked Boba in this setting, but then like since Mando happened, we're just like, look at our star, and like that's not your Mando.
He's a limousine driver in Mando season 2. Anyways,
he is. He's a taxi. He's your Uber.
Taxi Driver, the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh my god,
I would watch that.
Somebody made a really epic edit of I think it was for specifically Return of the Jedi in the style of the Baby Driver trailer, and it's so good.
Ooh,
it's like the
awesome.
tequila trailer.
Oh hell yes!
It's so good.
Watch this after.
I gotta watch
it's
that.
So good. I'll link it now. But yeah. So then Omega's like investigating around some stuff too. I forget exactly.
I forget what she's doing. What is she doing at this point?
Looking around their quarters for something. I don't know if it was like.
I think she was just curious, like.
Yeah, I think she's curious about the room. She found like their doll or something like that, or her doll. A record is it Wrecker's doll? Somebody had like
doll.
Wrecker's doll.
It's Lula.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. They were just like she was sneaking around. I don't know if she was like looking for them specifically, but she wasn't allowed to be in there.
But then she gets caught because the troopers are bringing all the stuff from their room into the hangar.
Yeah, and then they shoot the droid. I was on stun, but still, I don't know what that's going to do to his electronics.
Poor guy.
Literally. Because he was so nice. But, then she gets thrown in the cell. Bad Batch return. They're under arrest pretty fast. And then they end up in the cell together. Everybody except for Crosshair, I'm pretty sure.
Crosshair gets
pulled out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets pulled out like soon after, and
before he gets pulled out though, they had a great conversation between Crosshair and Omega.
Yeah,
which kind of dives into Omega's possible purpose and powers or something. I don't know, but she was just saying like, I understand what you're thinking, or I understand what you're feeling right now, Crosshair, and I understand the decision that you have to make, something like that, something in that vein.
Like,
and I'm like.
I know what you're gonna do. Please don't. And then
he's
like, what do you know about it? And she's like, I just know it's not your fault.
Ooh.
Like, yeah, I think it's just because she knows about the inhibitor chips.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Episode 2.
I think so too. I don't. Okay. Seriously, theorists do not take the tiniest crumb and run with it as your end game. Don't do that. It never ends well. Anyway, Star Wars, we're back. It's fun. Crosshair gets taken out, and then they run an examination of his hyper chip. And Tarkin's like, "Can you amplify it?
Crank that shit up to 100.
Crank it up.
Dial it to 11." I'm like, "Fuck."
Pull the lever.
God, and then we get this fantastic little jailbreak. Rebecca's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Yeah, they were
in
like,
here.
well, yeah, they were like, it was built like before even the Clone Wars, so even though it could hold us, can't handle someone like Wrecker. And then they start like crushing things, and then Omega's like crawling through, and they're like, "What is that?" And Wrecker's just like, "Oh, well, it wasn't built for my capacity." I was like, Jesus Christ.
I love him. The comedy, I was worried that it was going to become really old really fast, but so far I've loved it, and I love that it strikes a balance with like actually characterizing him instead of just being relief.
They use it sparingly. It's not like every other moment.
By the way, very early call. My brother and I just have a bad death flag for Wrecker. I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
How many seasons does the Bad Batch get?
Funny enough, the producers said like they have 16 episodes, but they hope that they'll do more. So there's hope for season 2 as possible.
I think what's that?
I think Wrecker might be.
That scooper, that Jordan something on Twitter said that
what
season 2 is possible already for next summer, or kind of tentatively slated for next summer.
And I remember earlier this week, I'm like, oh, I do not want another season of the Bad Batch.
Like,
then I watched it, I'm like, okay, I wouldn't mind it. As long as it's animated shows getting continuations, I'm happy.
Now, if we can just get that Rebels sequel.
And
Visions! Rebels sequel, everything.
And Rebels sequel, yes.
But
the hangar showdown time.
Yeah, then they're escaping out into the hangar. They gotta. It felt very Clone Wars finale of like get to the shuttle.
Yes.
But there's no Force user here. Haha. No Maul here. But everybody's like going back and forth. Omega does save Wrecker's little doll, which is adorable.
Nice.
But then also they're just like cornered, and I think Tech's just trying to get the engines online. I think also the Kaminoan, her name I'm forgetting.
Nalase.
Oh yeah, we get that brief cutaway. That's what that we're talking about. Like,
and I don't think it was like out of like heart. I think it was out of like an asset. Like
Nalase was the researcher that was like hiding, or she was helping them escape. Hiding,
which
that
is like
from
interesting
Nalase.
Because it makes me think that Omega, that purpose is more of a bigger setup, but I don't know what could be so valuable for Tarkin in Omega. I don't know.
I'm not sure. There had to be a reason you made a female clone. Like, what's the reason here? But also, like we talked about early in the episode, how they're keeping secrets from the Empire. So this could be very interesting. Alex from Star Wars Explained said like they could be setting up a mini Stormtroopers versus Clone Troopers kind of thing later on in the series.
I would love it.
That'd be interesting. We didn't get our Clone Wars. We didn't get our Stormtrooper Rebellion in Episode 9, but we could get a Clone Trooper Rebellion.
But because I would love that, and also I would love those politics to continue with the Kaminoans.
Give me the Senate, damn it!
Because they're in charge of the chips, right?
Right.
Presumably,
but they've been strung along, or at least for profit's sake, they've been strung along all this time. Like, I would love for them to just say, you know what, I'm done with all these people. Like, we've been doing this for years. It's just a mess. And just like,
imagine if there's just like a Hail Mary from the Kaminoans to just be like, all right, well, keep our corner of the galaxy, inhibitor chips answer to us now, and then it's just a standoff to like, all right, now the Stormtrooper era is here. Which would be tragic as hell for the clones, but I
mean, it's gonna be very fascinating. I hope we see the recruiting process, because we never saw like people get recruited. We see a little bit in Rebels. We saw it for Han. Yeah. I just want like an animated. I want to see more people get like. I want to see the slowly growth of
the burn
recruits.
Of it. Of like...
recruits instead of clones. Like, I wonder if the Bad Batch are going to come across a plan and they're like, wait, that's not a clone trooper under that helmet. That's a regular person. What's going on here?
When do we get to the point?
Really would love to see a recruiter just like is recruiting people and he's punching like your name also Solo, because it's just like.
But it's like, when do we get to the point of like Sienna and God, remind me of the main guy.
Thane?
Lost Art. Thane of like people just like willingly like that's their like it becomes a destination for people of like that's the end goal. Like that's what people want to do because it's like that's the thing. Like how does it get to that point? And I would love, like Evan said, of like when do people start seeing that they don't really have a choice, and 2, start believing in that choice as like the ultimate way to serve the galaxy. That's fascinating.
Like I have to be with the Empire because it's the only like way.
Right, or like I have to do this for my family. I literally have no other choice to work, or
or the diehards that are just like for my Empire.
Right, like when does that radicalization take effect? After the Republic fell, and like
I really need to play the campaign for the squadrons. I really want the Empire side.
I forgot about that. I remember we're all like, oh yeah, we get squadrons. And
no one got squadrons. I'm gonna wait for it to drop to $8 again, and then I'll buy it.
I think it's like $20 right now. It dropped real quick. Yeah,
everyone's like, it's kind of still hard to fly. I don't know.
That's why I've never bought it. I'm like, I'm gonna be shit.
I kind of want to buy it and rig it in the theater to play.
That would be so fun.
Yeah. So we have the firefight going on, and eventually they end up breaking out to escape. They take out Crosshair. Is just double down. He's trying to just take him out. He's lost for now. I really hope we can get him back.
Yeah, I like that they revealed this in episode 1 because people were already theorizing about it in the trailer, and I was already assuming like, oh, we might have a bad Crosshair kind of situation, a good guy goes rogue situation. So I'm glad that already was revealed in episode 1, so that we can have the whole season be about him chasing his old friends.
Yeah, and also Omega like shooting the sniper out of his hand in like one blast. I don't know if that's like a built-in.
Yeah, and then they zoomed in on her like saying like, "Oh wow, I shot him." I'm like, could she be a very good shot? Surprisingly.
Yeah, there was kind of a little emphasis on that. Like, oh, have you ever shot a gun before? Like, so I'm scared.
What are you scared of?
I don't know. Big reveals scare me in Star Wars now. Okay.
Yeah.
God.
Carson has been scarred by J.J. Abrams.
We're gonna be on season 3, and it's gonna be like, Omega, we found your real parents.
No, God. You're not a clone after all. Double Crosshair. Oh, that's a good pun.
Yeah, your mother died. Here's like, oh God, don't do this.
And it was all because of Palpatine again. Like,
oh no!
Give me a new villain. Give me a standalone villain.
We're getting these amazing dad-father vibes, and episode 2 was just all of that. I loved it so much.
Pretty much. Well, actually, real quick, let's talk about the adorable ending of Omega looking at space for the first time.
Looking at space for the first time, Rey, I've never seen so much green in the galaxy, like total innocent.
I think even before, or maybe like right after Force Awakens, like whenever Rebels started. Didn't Rebels start in 2014?
It did.
Yeah.
Well, then I think Ezra first, actually, like gazing at the stars when he was off-world.
I thought you guys were gonna make the Captain America Endgame reference again. People keep talking about that.
Nobody cares about that.
My God.
Wait,
oh my God! They shot a shot of his eye. Real
Captain America's eye
cinematography.
shot going to space for the first time.
Look, I love that shot. I'm not gonna say it's the origin of such a shot, but it's
but I saw it like 3 times on May 4th. They're like, oh, just like Captain America going into space for the first time. I was like, shut up! He's dead.
Tony did it in the first Avengers, but okay. They have the same shot. Anyway, I love it all. Anyway, is nice. And then we go into the second episode, Cut and Run, where we land on the planet, which also another great Omega moment where she's like,
soil!
Dirt? Oh, it's so coarse and smooth. And it's
so many
cool.
wholesome moments in this episode.
Cool. Yeah, no, she's amazing. She's like, what is this? And they're like, the dirt. And she's like, it's amazing. I'm like, damn, Camino really is just limited as hell.
Right.
Which is funny because like Camino is one of my favorite planets ever because I like gloomy atmospheres.
And it's just like it makes me think like of just like we're gonna get to the point where eventually she's gonna be repping like this crossbow thing of like eventually her innocence is gonna be zapped a little bit, and it just hurts me.
Carson,
like,
what the fuck?
Like
Carson, it's gonna be zapped.
It will. It's part of growing up, and it's just
she's fucking 8. Leave her alone.
And I'm like, she should have a family, but also this is her family, and like, oh, it's just so much. Okay, I'll
also stop. Like, even before the dirt, it's just like sunlight. Like,
Yeah,
like,
man.
oh my god, she's so wholesome. But they trek through, and then they find I guess his name is Cut, the clone that we've met previously in the Clone Wars,
Yes.
who deserted to start his own family. He's still seemingly thriving, but then we find out he's actually about to have to take off because the Empire is encroaching onto the galaxy. We got to find somewhere remote. But also, he has like a tie with the Bad Batch apparently, because like they are like familiar with him, like Uncle Wrecker, like it was adorable.
Amazing. And then another wholesome Omega moment. They're like, she literally doesn't know how to play, and they're like, "Come on, like let's play it again." And she's like, "Oh my god, people like care about me and want to have fun. Like,
play?
what is fun? Like,
Yeah. How do I catch a ball? What's going on here?
But then like later when she's like, "I caught it," and Hunter's smiling, I'm like, "Fuck, that's a dad now. He's a dad now."
What is damn Star Wars? These father-son, father-daughter, little.
Yeah. Wish we can get this from mothers and children, but tragic.
Anyways, so God, I forgot about this guy because I was trying to explain the entire plot of how the Republic came to an empire to Kelly because she was watching. She's been like just peeking in on Bad Batch, and she's like, "Okay, what are the clones? Why is this clone different? And why?" She called him the Australian clone because he was wearing like this like poncho thing at the airport. I'm like, he's not Australian. They're all the same DNA. Just calm down.
They're New Zealand
clone.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Like
it was his whole deal.
they're Kiwis. But that's funny. Yeah, what's an inhibitor chip? Like even like if you just watch the movies, you're like, what's an inhibitor chip? Because they never touch on it.
And then she's like, wait, this takes place before the original movie? Like, she's like, why do you watch it then? I'm like, because we gotta fill in the gaps.
You gotta fill in those gaps.
We gotta fill in the 19-year gap that we've been doing every year forever.
That's hilarious.
Funny. It's just funny though, because I'm like, you got a point, damn it. You got a point.
Cut to us watching Kenobi, filling in those gaps. Joby Harold's laying the concrete.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
But,
Star Wars.
What was after this part though? Is this when he decides like maybe you should give Omega to Cut?
No. They go into town and they're just like, we gotta buy passes, and they're like, chain codes.
Chain codes.
Yeah. And this was fascinating. This reminded me of episode 1 of Rebels.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, we're like the merchants.
Exactly, the merchants, the Empire coming into town. I mean, at least in Rebels, the Empire was already into town. But this one is just like very ominous already, just like days after Order 66.
Yeah.
It just looks like all those uniform clone troopers already look like stormtroopers because they're all like uniform, no individuality, just black and white.
Just messing up everything. Like no more credits anymore. It's now like
exchange your currency,
Imperial
and also
credits,
you can't leave the planet without our permission.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a chain code? Give me your ID. Fuck your basket. Like very Empire on brand. I don't think they actually did that, but I'm just thinking about Rebels.
No, they had the guy with trying to get on. Like, I needed to get off today. I needed to go visit.
Yeah, he had his plane tickets booked. What the hell?
Tragic.
Right? It's our convention tickets.
So they need chain codes both for humans and for ships, I think, right?
Yes.
Like everybody gets a chain code.
They were tagging
everything's
ships.
registered.
Yeah, everything has to be registered.
Anything that moves you, including your legs, has a chain code.
Yeah.
But
I think Tech was fond of because he was like, "Oh, this is a very cool way of like getting everybody on the database."
He's like, it's ingenious. Like,
don't admire this, Tech. What are you doing?
Well, he admires it. He's just like brilliant.
It reminds me, actually, Nathan, you'll read about this guy in High Republic. This dude who's like has to like figure out why these occurrences are happening, and he's like basically creating a system of robots to like figure
Great
out.
Guy.
Yeah, but he's like kind of like, this is interesting. Give me all the power so I can make this algorithm.
Yeah,
like,
he was a great. What was his name, Cars? Do you remember?
Oh God, what's his name?
I think it started with the T, but I don't know.
I could not.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna.
Great
guess.
character. Great character. What was after this though?
The little monster attack.
The
runs out.
Like the Attack of the Clones thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was from. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounded familiar.
Yeah. I love how the wife just gets up on. She's like, another one, and just gets up there and starts sniping it like.
Yeah, really good shot.
Way.
Yeah. It was perfect. And then
I love how everybody's like, "Don't move." I'm like, why would I not move? I think he's coming closer and closer. I am gone.
It ain't gonna. It's not a T-Rex. The hell?
Yeah, I'm like, don't move. And
then
like every movie ever.
We got Hunter the dad out there with his little knife, like.
Yeah.
Put himself in front of her.
Yeah.
And it was a great moment, just like, you could have died. Like, he's like genuinely worried, but he's not handling the situation well.
Right. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to communicate that emotion yet. Like, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then. That's when we go back and talk about, hey, I think she should go with you guys because I don't know how to handle these situations and raise her.
Which I was shocked. I'm like, we're really doing this trope so early?
Even before that, though, like they also had a great line of just like, like no training can like really prepare you for like parenthood.
Right.
Type
Yes.
It's adorable.
And it pays off in the last scene of this episode, too. It's like,
does.
I need some training. I'm going to have to be right there with you, and I'm like,
I need to learn as well.
So I'm glad. I'm kind of glad it came up this early because now we
Me
can
too.
progress.
Because I was shocked. Like I'm like, it's a classic. I don't even know what the trope is called. The guardian and the daughter, the guardian and the child trope, where they're like, I can't handle this. You got to push them away. Happened in The Last of Us.
It kind of reminded me
all
of
the time.
How stretched out the Mandalorian's plot is. Probably should be a 1 episode deal of like, okay,
it's like we did
now.
It's like the first episode was like the first 3 episodes of Mando, and then like now we're on the Jedi episode with like Grogu catch the ball.
yeah. This was really similar to Mando episode 4, right? Episode 4,
the Bryce
Dallas Howard episode.
God bless her.
And even then, we were making comparisons in that episode. We're like, we've seen this before. Like this isn't new to Mando or Star Wars. Yeah. This isn't new
just executed
to storytelling.
way better here.
And then that episode was
I think so.
That episode also was like, we've seen with Kurosawa. It was like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Exactly. I agree with Carson. I think it might have been done better, slightly better here because Grogu didn't have a say in terms of what happened. I think I liked that episode of Mando because it was Mando or Din really making a choice for himself, saying like, yeah, I think I got to take care of the child now.
Let's also point out, Grogu did not have a say, but then like later it's like, oh yes, I'm talking to him. He trained at the temple. It's like,
that's all the way to season 2. That's all the way to season 2. I liked how in this one, this is Omega having the conversation, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I just liked in general that they handled this trope so early and that they got it done so early, so we can move on to new and more unique things going forward.
Agreed.
Yeah. So then we have like the again final confrontation trying to get the chain codes to
chain code heist.
Yes, I love heists. They're so great. And then Omega like just takes them up to like run ahead, and it's so fun. Tech is so casual all the time. Like Echo's just like, "Where are the chain codes? Where's Omega?" And he's like, "Oh, there she is." Like, dude. But the adventure continues, and then like she gets up to them, just like, he accidentally made 5.
Oh,
ouch! Ouch! I know.
As soon as I just like saw Hunter's face, I was like, don't. Like,
and he sits her down, and they make it so that you can see the line like moving up as each person walks up and scans their chain code, and it's like holding up the line, and he's just sitting there. It reminds me of the goddamn Kessel and the stupid line when they're Kira and Han get separated. And I'm like,
on the Corellia.
Not Kessel.
Corellia or Kessel?
Kessel. Corellia, sorry.
At the gate.
At the gate.
At the gate, yes.
Like,
great scene.
It was the exact same formation of like the pillar and like the drawer. And I was like, it's Solo. Like the Empire is here and it sucks. Like, but then it's seemingly is like she is going to take off with them, and all I'm sitting here is just like, if she leaves now, you better come back around the season.
Yeah, I was getting slightly nervous. I'm like, ooh, is she really gonna leave? I'm like, the show's gone. I'm like, thank God. I hesitated for a second. I'm like, no, they're gonna come back around.
Oh, what up?
Hello there. We have a new viewer.
I wonder who that is.
New viewer. Awesome.
God.
That's our top viewer of the year.
Sweet.
Yeah. But it was like a thing where I'm just thinking like, oh, it's Evan's thing. Like, if you take the child away, there's no show.
Literally, Nathan, you're reading my mind. I was so close to the end. I'm like, but I leaned back. I was like, you know what? give it 5 seconds. They're going to turn this around. And, that's
And she
exactly what
pops up
happened.
and she's like, "Wait for me!" And they're all like,
And I
Love it.
completely forgot that I also knew that she had a Disney Plus logo already. It's like you're not just gonna like take her
Yeah.
away so early and give her that.
Yeah.
Like,
If she was to go away, I think they'll get her back in the very next episode.
"Right."
sure.
So I wasn't too worried, but I'm just like, oh, come on. Because already she is the heart of the show. If she's gone, we can get a very, like, I feel like we could get a very stale show without her. So I'm happy that she's aboard.
1,000%.
So yeah, then like she comes back on board. Also at the same time, Cut's almost recognized because of his clone face, but the firefight peels it away.
Yeah, I was like, was that partially because of the firefight, or that the clones, now that they have the inhibitor chip, like the Order 66, does that make them less recognizable to other clones?
Honestly, I just had a more terrifying thought of it being like, of course the clones know a clone face, but like, what if they don't even like recognize themselves anymore?
The person.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like maybe they're like,
Whoa.
if they didn't have that Order 66 notification, maybe they'd be like, oh, dude, what are you doing? So I think like now that Order 66 is intact, they're like, you look familiar. Like it takes harder for them to get there.
It's like the what was like an instance what I swear there was like a different like movie I was thinking of, but I guess then like the terms of like Get Out kind of, it was just like being trapped within your own self and not really
Get out.
Yeah. Like they gotta snap a photo to wake up Jesse back in clones.
Nice.
God, that's horrifying. All the clones in a sunken place, just like inside their mind. Palpatine just has them on a little
Wow.
string.
That got dark. That got dark.
He drinks tea, doesn't he? I don't know.
He does, yeah. In that episode with the Godzilla monster, he like sips the tea at the end of it.
All I can think about. No, wait.
Right?
I remember that meme because everyone.
I remember that from Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars movie. At like the Battle of Christophsis, like right at the jump.
You mentioned Clone Wars movie, my mind goes.
That's fine. That's fine. But now I just remember Obi-Wan like stirs and he just like taps 3 times the teacup, and I'm like, oh. Now that's not as fun. But anyway,
did Jordan Peele ruin tea forever?
Screen Rant's latest article. Probably
that. Screen Rant kills me.
In fact, I've been featured on Screen
Rant. Actually, in my job search, I kept seeing like Screen Rant hiring like, oh,
that's
you
amazing.
can write articles for us. And like, I've heard garbage about like you pay like horrible rates for articles.
Oh no, really?
I will not write for them, but they may write about.
They may write about you. That's
hilarious. It's hilarious. I always make fun of Screen Rant in the anime community because like top 10 strongest characters. I'm like, you're all wrong. What are you doing? But yeah, Screen Rant's gonna Screen Rant. Anyways, this episode ends with the Omega and Hunter discussion, which I absolutely loved.
She's like, listen, I'm broken, you're broken.
Oh, no.
That's not what happens at all.
And she's like, she thought, she kind of made a mistake, but not, only in the context of like, who knows? Like, right down at the next spaceport, who's to say that he doesn't get recognized? It's a dark thought, but I think she's probably safer with the Bad Batch. Obviously there's some consequences there, but it was so sweet to like see them both like, hey, we both have a lot to learn, but we're doing this because we care. Like, my heart.
Great.
It's so good. Meanwhile, Wrecker's benching a gonk. Like,
yeah, I forgot about that. Like, when did he pick that up?
I think it's just on their ship.
So where do you guys think we could see this season going? We have first 2 episodes. We have 14 episodes left.
The chat seems pretty hyped about a Rex appearance, and I can.
I in our chat, I was like, really?
No. Well, our personal chat of our friends.
Yeah.
But I can definitely understand that from the perspective of like needing to get like an understanding of like the inhibitor chip removal for Crosshair eventually.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it, but Rex was a day ahead of him, so he's very close to them.
Yeah.
So they're on his tail. So and we see him in the trailer, and so far we've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we see him in the trailer.
So far we've seen a lot of stuff from the trailer in this show. Like a lot of it was from episode 1 and 2.
And it's funny.
Hopefully we can see like Rex next week.
It's funny. I've only seen like the first trailer of Bad Batch. And then like I was looking for images on Google for the thumbnail, and then like out of nowhere I was like, "Is that a baby Rancor?" I was like, "This in my search," and I'm just like, "All right, well, cool." I completely forgot Fennec Shan is supposed to show up at some point.
Yep.
I don't know in what context. I mean, she's probably just a mercenary.
Probably a bounty
God.
hunter, I would assume.
Fennec versus Omega. I need it. I absolutely need it of like her with her little crossbow or like little laser bow, and then like the Bad Batch just like come in. But
Fennec meets Boba Fett. And,
I mean, it's going to be, speaking of that, so, don't even mention Boba Fett. But, God, don't bring him into the show. He just gave me hives. But,
what the hell?
I really hope.
You never liked Boba in Clone Wars?
I do like Boba in Clone Wars. He's better than Clone Wars than Mando. Anyways, Fennec Shan is a bounty hunter, so we could see like the Bad Batch take part of like odd jobs, just to like probably be bounty hunters or mercenaries in this strange new world. Like they talked to Cut about like what should our purpose be, and then I think he says like the best way to escape is just to like, I don't know what he said, like be true to yourselves or something like that, or something. So just blend in. So I think doing odd jobs, just trying to survive, is going to be like their motto going forward.
Yeah, I can see that. I can. They also have like really unorthodox armor, so I could see that maybe getting like paint jobs or something.
I was thinking that too. Like, are they going to change that armor because it's very recognizable?
And they still look like soldiers, you know. It's like So we'll see.
I just love Tech's goggle helmet. It's so good.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Glasses in Star Wars, they're always so fun to see.
Yeah.
But yes, the Bad Batch. I think we're all pleasantly surprised. Yeah, literally.
Pleasantly surprised. Very pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely. I'm actually very enthralled for the next, I guess, 14 episodes.
God, that's crazy. I guess I was
expecting like, 8 to 12.
Right. Early on, we're like, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what 4 episodes of this show would be. Like, you know what I mean?
And if you would have told me, there's going to be more Bad Batch episodes than the Clone Wars finale, I wouldn't have believed you. I remember. I think I was also theorizing, like, what are we going to do? Like, break out the chips and then, like, bring down Empire bases? I don't know. Like, free the clones. That's what I thought it would be. Maybe.
Yeah, and do we get to a point later this season where they've like joined? You know, they're
maybe
vehemently against the Empire. Like,
will we see Ahsoka?
So this show ends on July 30th, Friday, July 30th, which makes sense. Cause I think August 6th could be the day that What If begins.
So we're gonna overlap with Loki.
What is this show?
How many episodes is Loki?
Loki is going to be
8.
I thought it was 8.
Yeah, remember Loki's
but also
Wednesdays.
Loki is on Wednesdays. Loki Wednesdays.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to get used to the fact that there's going to be eventually at the output there's going to be a Star Wars and a Marvel at the same time. Like, it's just going to become a norm of like
6 episodes
slice of the week.
Okay. Well, I know we wanted to do like our shows back to back anyway, so that can still function.
Yeah. Especially with Carson not being a scholar anymore.
Well, grad school starts in the fall, but you know.
Oh, really? I didn't know you were doing next year.
Yeah, I'm jumping into it.
Okay.
But
just like me. You're just like me. And I think I took I started spring 2020 or 2019, so I skipped the summer and the fall. And then went to the winter.
You're like, give me a little bit. Give me that.
I was like, I'm done.
I need a minute.
Then my mom was like, Evan, I'm kicking you out of the house. I'm like, okay, cool. She didn't say that, everybody. She didn't say that.
We've changed the locks.
We've changed the Apple TV login, Evan. You're no longer able to watch Wolfwalkers and
Mike Dickinson. God damn.
Mike Dickinson.
But what's in the news? Because we've missed a lot.
We missed a lot.
I guess the most recent thing is there are now set photos of Andor.
And Kenobi a little bit.
Just don't want to share screens. Does anybody have any photos, or we just want to talk about it?
We should talk about it. I mean,
okay,
not
cool.
like
Carson doesn't want to.
I mean, it's just like Diego. It's just a Diego in a vest smiling, like, you know, like.
Yeah, he's not even smiling. He's like it's like mid photo, like every time. And then there's some shore troopers, which is cool.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like there were shore troopers which we didn't see much of in Rogue One, besides like the very last act. because there's a whole cut scene between the stormtroopers and the walkers from the first trailer that we missed. But
Charging at the walkers with the plans. I really want to see.
God,
God
don't get me going.
Yeah.
But we had to upload it. No, I think it was a thing where like we exited a tower to go to a new tower, and there was
it was in a separate place.
Exactly, but then they changed everything.
Tony Gilroyed it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Alexander Desplat soundtrack.
I'm moving forward. I've made penance with my Star Wars
After
whatever.
5 years.
And that sounds so deep.
Rise of Skywalker.
Garrett's making a new movie. We're fine.
Is he? I never heard of that guy. What's his name again? Gareth Edwards?
Carson, Carson shared that report.
You know what? Original sci-fi movie with John David Washington. You should be kissing his doorstep right now.
Is this my cup of tea, guys? What's going on?
About to be.
Yeah, we just transitioned.
Okay. I don't give a crap about Gareth. I'm kidding. I'll see it. But I mean, it's a movie. I'll see it.
That's all I need.
You respect my MonsterVerse directors.
Yeah. Anyways, that photo looked really cool. I just like seeing all the throughout the last couple of months. You've seen different sets for Cassian Andor. This week we saw like him on the outside wearing a cool vest. I just like that this show is seemingly very much more expansive than Mando.
On set builds, and not to say that Mando didn't have set builds, but it looks like a lot of they're going to shoot outside. They're building
real
all
sets,
these
practical effects.
They're building towns. Like Mando had that one town built, but it was kind of like exclusively in LA. Like only shoot like Andor's kind of been all over the place.
I think it took me aback because I kept expecting like every Disney Plus Star Wars show live action to just be on the volume now.
Right, and I'm glad it's not because I think Andor's whole premise of like this is going to be like movie quality like every episode. Of course, that's such a kind of ambiguous term. Like, what does that even mean?
12 whole episodes.
But
too.
Yeah, it's like it's really a whole endeavor of trying to build out this world that
Is it 12 episodes?
Yeah,
they said in the sneak peek with the
sizzle reel. Yeah,
during Investor Day.
Nice. Okay.
Spark of
God, I'm so excited for Cassian Andor. I can't contain my excitement. I tweeted about this in our chat yesterday or the other day. I'm so excited. The sets got me very excited. And then granted they're just sets, but it just seems very cinematic, which is exactly what they said in the sizzle. I like the new location. Cassian seems very it just seems like a very cool thriller that we could have going here. I know it's just like we talk about it every time we talk about Andor, but I'm just very excited for the political implications of this show, the thriller mystery aspect of it all, going from planet to planet.
You mean my Bail Organa Senate meeting with the young Leia they cast for Kenobi?
It's like from a outside perspective, like right away this show, like I could instantly envision like there's so much that's going on that is like it feels like a necessary thing to like, okay, we need to figure this out, like what's happening in this era. It didn't feel like I've been excited from the jump for it, and that's what makes me so like it's so cool to just see it actually be shooting. And let's do like a quick. So Cassian's been shooting. Kenobi just started shooting a little bit ago. So those two shows are starting.
Yeah, Cassian started like what, October, November.
Yeah. So they're probably gonna wrap like soonish.
Yeah,
and,
I had some.
And it premieres like what, spring next year?
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Based on these timelines, like let's give another estimate on when you guys think the breakdown for next year is.
So Boba Fett
in this.
No,
wasn't it supposed to be
just 2022?
This is 2021 or 2022. Yeah.
They didn't say like spring.
Nope.
Nah.
Okay.
So yeah,
well, that's my guess.
I think we're getting spring because Kenobi was to film in spring. So
yeah, Kenobi just started filming. Like
yeah.
Wait, so Kenobi is also next year, right?
Yes.
Presumably,
yeah. So we have for next year we have Boba Fett confirmed to be December, which is going to bleed into January.
Yeah.
Whenever Mando season 3 is,
Mando season 3 was filming. I have it in my notes.
I bet it started filming.
I think it started to film in April. That's what I have in my notes. I think it was rumored to film in April.
I bet you they just kept going from Book of Boba Fett and just started filming.
Yep, exactly.
So I think have the Jabba set ready. And again, if you have the Jabba set,
And that goes
Build me
into
a
our
puppet.
news.
Give me my solo sequel.
Yeah, that goes into our news
Exactly.
that Din is going to show up in Book of Boba Fett, or it was a rumor,
Yeah.
which I think we all kind of speculated from the start to like. A
I
little
did as
pull.
well. I wasn't really surprised or upset by this. I'm like, okay.
Oh, wait, you said
Yeah.
Din?
Din,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought you said Dan. I was like, who's Dan?
Dan Djarin.
His brother, Dan Jar.
Dan Jaren.
Dan Jar.
Dan Djarin.
Dan
Hey, what's up,
Jar.
Din? How's it going?
Thermal
Oh, man.
oscillator. There's a brand new hole in that oscillator. Every time
Kind
Ellis
of,
calls it
thermal
out.
You know what?
Oscillator.
I saw an absolutely hilarious stand-up comedy joke about Mandalorian. He's like, "Hey, did you see a Mandalorian? They put Bill Burr in Star Wars. Nothing takes you out like a bald Bill Burr in Star Wars." And he's not in a costume. He doesn't change his voice. I would argue he's not even acting. It's just Bill Burr saying like, "Oh, what are you, the Galaxy and Empire?" It's just Bill Burr. This guy
You're
just kept
right.
going.
That's
I'm like,
great.
you are so right, because he just stands there and it's like.
Not wrong.
Anyways, the little tangent, but
But yeah, I think the schedule is looking like 2022 in December into January, Book of Boba Fett. And then I think Cassian Andor. I think Cassian Andor,
you think it's gonna come out before
then
Mando
Mando season 3. I hope so.
You know what?
Yeah.
I can see that because I think they're gonna do a big Mando summer deal, probably.
I disagree. I
The
think Mando.
return of
I think
the
Kenobi is a
greatest-
summer show
Then
Really?
where do you put Mando? The
in
fall.
the fall,
October?
back where it usually
Back
is
where it
in the
started?
fall.
You don't think
You can
it's
do it-
like the big
What?
like sell point of like the
Hmm.
summer season now?
I think Kenobi would be a big summer show. Like boom, Kenobi in the summer.
Yeah, well, I think if there's a Bad Batch season 2, we have to also equate that might be summer again.
How did a fly get in here?
But there's a high possibility there'll be an animated show and a live action show at the same time.
I could see that.
I would
Um,
love that. You think they
well,
can do that?
We could have a Wednesday and Friday Star Wars.
I don't-
Unless they just
on top of the
back-to-back-
Marvel.
I mean, unless they just back to back it like they did with Clone Wars and Mando season 1.
I think that would be possible. It's just so hard to envision
Yeah.
that because Marvel will be having their
Again,
shows
it's-
every week as well.
You're right, and it's that conversation that we had, God, like 2 years ago, or we're just like, what are we gonna? It was remember when we used to talk about like, what if there's 2 movies a year? Like the reality of the competitive landscape. Like, what are we gonna do? And now, like, God, streaming and
That
like,
was literally like only 2 years ago. We were having that conversation.
right. And so now it's like,
Cut to Harloff. 4, maybe 5. No. Or 3 or 4.
Real quick, I didn't know Harloff still follows me. Like he liked a retweet of mine. I'm like, you guys still follow me? Wow.
that's funny.
I thought he blocked me because I talk a lot of shit.
But anyways, like, they're going all in on this Disney Plus stuff, so I would just like not be surprised if there's a lot more overlap than we think there would be.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe. I
I
mean,
don't know.
I
They
wouldn't
did drop
mind.
like,
It.
here's 10 things coming at the Investor Day.
I wouldn't mind having an animated show and a live action show coming out around the same time. It just doesn't seem
Yeah.
likely because I think Marvel at least has like She-Hulk, Moon Knight,
There's
Armor
4
Wars.
shows next year, right? 3 or
Yeah,
4 at least.
for Marvel. I mean, for Marvel, She-Hulk, Armor Wars, Moon Knight confirmed next year.
Yeah.
That's just
I think
3 alone.
Ironheart before Armor Wars.
Ironheart as well. God.
And there's a possibility that Loki probably shoots season 2 and would come late next year or something. I don't know.
Wow. Maybe. But yeah, so a lot of TV shows for this. Envisions could get a sequel too, I hope.
I
Again,
love that.
It could
We
be a
don't
stepping
know.
stone to other, like, whether it's a full series of a specific art style or a
Right.
movie.
Just you know what? I think they should call it like Volume 1 Visions, or like, not just Visions in the title, but like the season would just say Volume 1, and then they just keep releasing new volumes with different studios of like different takes.
We're going to see a 3D model episode of Visions, and then we're gonna watch the behind the scenes like Disney Gallery, and then Carson's gonna like light up when he sees like the Frozen 2 animators or like.
I'm
Jennifer Lee.
Can you guys please watch the Frozen 2 documentary, specifically Evan? So just,
keep spamming my DMs, and I
Yeah,
will.
you got to keep reminding me. I'm watching
Evan,
so much
I-
shit on Disney.
Evan,
You're like,
you're
are you doing anything right now? Turn it on.
Evan, you're going to see this, and you're going to be like, you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. Like, we need more like behind the scenes. You're going to compare this to like the like little sap pieces that Marvel puts out after like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I think have just been lazy and
I didn't even
boring
watch the
compared
Falcon and Winter Soldier
Yeah,
one.
because they're not that interesting.
Well, I like them and I want to watch it. I'm just like, I'm never in the like mind
mood?
frame when I'm like on my downtime because I'll
Yeah,
I'll be
so
working a bunch.
I'm not in the mood to watch a documentary. I'm not the biggest documentary fan, but
I do love documentary. It's like an hour. That's like what like daunts me because it's not like broken into like segments. It's like it's all of it at once.
Yeah.
And see, this isn't like glossy. This is like they're actually every day you're like following everybody to work, and like some days they're like, guys, we have to turn the cameras off. Like we have like 100 days and we are 30 or we're like 52% animated. Like please leave. Like, and it's like it gets real and it's like crazy.
Okay, fine. You know what, Carson?
Versus like Anthony Mackie sitting there like, oh, the legacy of Marvel, like, which is fine.
I mean, it's a bummer because like I love how like we had like a full 8 episodes of like Mando's making of, but then when we got to season
great.
2, it all got condensed, and they were like, "We'll roll with that." And I'm like, "No, I know we're in a pandemic, but come on, like, I want it all."
God, imagine if we got like the at-home version of like we got to see like how they completed season 2 because a lot of the VFX and stuff takes place at home. Like, I don't know. Anyways, that's just a complete random tangent about behind-the-scenes shows.
You know what, Carson? Big Brother Canada
is ended
last night.
You're disappointed. So, you're looking to fill that void.
I need something to fill the void. We had our first black winner ever.
Oh, that's good at least.
Which is incredible. It took 20 years.
Oh my!
Still hasn't happened in Big Brother US. Still hasn't happened in this is Big Brother Canada.
It's Canada, yeah.
Hasn't happened in Big Brother US, but still, great. So you know what? I might watch the show. I have a lot of free time now.
It's a quick binge. It's like 6 30-minute episodes or something, or 6 40-minute.
That's a quick binge.
Yes.
How much Survivor do you watch?
A lot. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm on Survivor Vanuatu right now, guys.
And how long are those episodes?
An hour.
Okay, fine. I see.
An hour with commercials.
Wow, I feel very targeted right now.
Get off Paramount Plus.
Get to the Disney Plus. They own your soul.
I'm trying to get us a sponsor for Paramount Plus, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Good subscribers.
What were we talking about again?
We're talking about
release dates.
But yeah, I think I'm laying it down. Boba Fett into January, but then we're getting Cassian, Kenobi, then Mando, maybe Ahsoka in the fall, in that December area. Maybe.
I forgot that existed. I forgot maybe everything that's coming.
That's 5 shows.
But Book of Boba Fett still counted as 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's beginning of December, is it just?
You know what, Evan?
I feel like it's gonna be beginning of December.
Evan, you could be because I still remember that Rogue Squadrons is not coming out until 2023 at the end of the year.
Oh, you're right. It's not coming out next year. We're not having a movie next year. Got delayed.
Yep.
Haven't had a Star Wars movie in a long time.
Man, Patty Jenkins, what are you doing?
Taika, what are you doing? How long is it
Ryan, what are you doing?
Oh, he's got to finish Knives Out 2 first.
And 3.
Oh my god! God damn it!
Gosh, 2027, Ryan Johnson. Let's go. We're
gonna Mission Impossible 7 and 8 scenario like film back to back from the Knives Out.
Since we're talking about like release stuff, let's quickly talk about the book, little tidbits of book news that are just going to be releasing over the next.
I have a website pulled up there.
Oh my god! Really?
Okay. Let me see.
I believe the comics are still going. I'm caught up with
it's
3 issues of High Republic Adventures, and then but the 4th one just dropped on Wednesday, and then I'm caught up with 4 on the one with Skier and
okay, you're ahead of me. I'm only on issue 2 on both of them. No.
Yeah.
Issue 2 on the Marvel comics and only issue 1 on IDW. So I need to catch up on all of those. Mainly because the Drengir seem to be imposing threats, and I haven't even touched that in Into the Dark yet.
Yeah, so, and it's funny. Like literally, my bookmark, Evan, is like right on that chapter, like where they discover it, and like, I haven't read it, and then I read the comic first, so I didn't get like all the context of like.
So yeah, I want to read Into the Dark before I catch up on the comic books. That's what I did for the last one. But yeah, I have it pulled up. So the next wave of Star Wars High Republic is revealed. So the June issue of High Republic number 6 is going to be about the Republic frontier is in crisis, and they are attacked by the unstoppable Drengir. This is a new story arc starting in June 2nd. But the big thing is for the second wave of the High Republic, we are going to have like the first wave is all about the tower. What is it called? Starlight
Nile?
Beacon.
Oh, yeah.
The Nile, Starlight Beacon, origins of all that stuff. The coronation of the Starlight Beacon was the whole end result there, as we
Phase
saw.
1, yeah.
And like all the books kind of tied into the coronation of the Starlight Beacon. Now that that's over and accomplished, and Markian Row is getting stronger, the next wave is going to do with the Republic Fair on the planet of Valo. And that is what the Rising Storm is going to be about here. As Rising Storm comes out June 29th, following the dramatic events of Light of the Jedi, the Republic hero return to face a shattered peace and a fearsome foe. So let me see here. In celebration of Starlight Beacon, the Chancellor plans the Republic Fair, a showcase of the possibility and peace of the expanding Republic. A precept.
It goes wrong, I'm assuming.
Yeah, a precept the Jedi hope to foster Stellan Gios, Bel Zettifar, Elzar Mann, and others join the event as ambassadors of harmony. Those three characters, seemingly the main characters of this book, on top of like possibly Avar Chris again.
You said Stellan Skarsgård, Salazar Slytherin.
No, Gleave.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Stellan Skarsgård, who's going to be in Cassian Andor.
Aren't you excited for Elzar Mann to be a bigger piece of this? Because
he's one we didn't see much of in.
But that ending specifically.
Yeah, he had the one with the visions, right?
I don't know anything.
Oh wait, Stellan Gios, was he the one that we saw a lot of in the first book, or
he was the. God, what was he?
Was he the one who sees the world that forces water as the ocean, or was that Elzar Mann?
Stellan. Hold on, let me look this dude up.
Yeah, look up Stellan Gios. But Bel Zettifar is my favorite character from Light of the Jedi. He is the Black Jedi who was the apprentice to Loden Greystorm, who I will not reveal what happened to him in Light of the Jedi. I don't want to get into spoilers there. But something happened to his master. But Elzar Mann is going to be a bigger focus, and he's the one who had a bit of a romantic past, seemingly romantic past with.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen really that much because he was Vernestra Rowe's master. Vernestra being from Test of Courage, and also she also in the comic line.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
And then I think he's like Stellan has risen through the ranks of the Order along with Avar Chris, and they've worked together on missions throughout the Galactic Republic.
So they had that trio, right, of Stellan, Elzar, and Avar. They're like the three big.
Oh,
big
yeah,
three.
he was in it. He was the one that when they went to go question the Santekas about the hyperspace stuff.
Yeah, that was him.
It was those two.
Okay, yeah.
Santekas?
Yeah, you'll learn about.
Are sure that wasn't Elzar?
I swear, because Elzar was.
I feel like that was Elzar.
Might have been Elzar. Maybe we haven't seen Stellan yet. I don't know.
Maybe we haven't seen Stellan.
I think I'm confusing Stellan and Elzar.
But as the eyes of the galaxy turn towards the fair, so does the fury of the Nile. Their leader, Markian Row, is intent on destroying the spirit of unity. His storm descends on the pageantry and celebration, so in chaos and exacting revenge. The key word there, revenge, because something happened to him. No spoilers, of course, but he seemingly has a past with the Jedi. Even as a reader of the book, we don't know much of what happened to Markian in his past, in his relationship with the Jedi. But something tragic happened to him, and he does not like Jedi. So that's gonna be very interesting to see what is revealed of him.
So that is
June 29th.
June 29th.
Yeah, so excited. Kevin Scott is writing.
Kevin Scott, huge year, and then we get if you have the synopsis for the newly announced audio drama, book coming out from Kevin Scott. Thank goodness I knew he was going to do another one.
Let me look for it. Yeah, here we go. Tempest Runner. Cover is not final, but it is about Lorna D, who is a Tempest Runner revealed in Light of the Jedi. Somebody that Markion trusts, but does he trust Markion Ro? That's the thing there.
I don't know.
And she's always watching her back for threats, whether from the Jedi or from her fellow Nihil. Again, that's August 31st, written by Kevin Scott. So exciting. We're getting another audio original.
That's this summer as well.
Yeah, August. Wow. So it's a month right after, or 2 months after.
That's amazing.
Rising Storm.
And do we know the time period of it? Is it say
we don't. I asked him. I think I tweeted him like, "Do we know the time period?"
Yeah.
He said like, "I can't reveal that."
Interesting.
Other big thing is Out of the Shadows. The next YA novel from this phase is not going to be written by Claudia Gray. This one's going to be written by Justina Ireland. So
who wrote Test of Courage? Right.
Exactly. So as Carson is saying, like he has a book Into the Dark. This next one is called Out of the Shadows. So you get Into the Dark, then Out of the Shadows, kind of rhymes there.
Yeah.
Not rhymes, but connects there. And this one's very interesting. And
Claudia's not doing the YA novel, right?
No, we still don't know what Claudia's doing.
We don't know what she's doing next. It's got to be the next big one, but who knows?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so this one seems very exciting because this YA novel is going to deal with Vernestra Rowe, who has her new Padawan, as revealed in Test of Courage, Imri. So Vernestra Rowe, Imri, and Reed Silas from Into the Dark, which I haven't read yet. So the books from Into the Dark and Test of Courage are combining,
intertwining,
and meeting in this new YA book coming out July 22nd. So, oh my gosh,
dude, this summer's
it's so awesome. Exciting. What else am I missing here? Of course, they're continuing the IDW run. Got it. Okay.
What is that? A fly or mosquito?
Go the fly. Showed it. I'm not crazy. And then September 7th is when they begin. Justina Ireland and Shinya begin the manga. The Star Wars, The Edge of Balance, which sounds very cool. So a lot of great stuff up ahead. So we have audio drama, comics, IDW comic books, manga, exciting stuff all around.
Wait, quick note on the comics. Are they both just ending at 6 or are they just starting new arcs?
New arcs. They're all new arcs.
Got it.
Because I remember I asked Kevin about that early on because Comixology only had up to 6. We're like, is this limited? He's like, nope. It's just Comixology hasn't updated it yet. So, yeah, they'll be running for a long time, I presume. This is very exciting. Yeah. So that is... Oh, and then lastly, real quick, in terms of books, the Star Wars novel Ronin was revealed, I think, just last month. And it is a upcoming canon novel written by Emma Mikio Condon, and inspired by the upcoming Star Wars anime series, Star Wars Visions. So the book is called Star Wars Visions, titled Ronin.
And it's an original book, which is awesome. An
original novel coming out October 12th from Del Rey.
I'm guessing it's going to be like an offshoot from one of the episodes.
Hopefully.
I would say there's a character they'll probably they're really excited about, hopefully, and then just took it from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Very exciting. Again, I wish we could see more Visions so we can know what we're in for here.
I wish we could see anything of Visions.
just the title alone, Star Wars Ronin, super, super cool and interesting. Got that, of course.
47 Ronin starring Keanu Reeves.
Asian vibe going on there. Finished Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm very hyped for all this.
Give me a Star Wars story that is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, please.
Yes. Liberate the planet through the Castle Kamada.
I mean, if we have a Star Wars game in the vein of Ghost of Tsushima, game of the year. Game of the decade. Right? I mean,
it'd be a wrap. I would just give up. Like, that's all I need.
I would call off work. I'd be like, substitute teacher for a month.
You're close, but if you were this.
I know. Oh man. Yeah, Fallen Order combat with open world. Oh.
Genius.
That would be
put me on a space horse from Rise of Skywalker and let me just roam the different intergalactic planets, hell yeah.
Oh god.
I'm just reading this article too right now. I'm so excited for this next phase. And Nathan, you have until You have until June 29th to read Light of the Jedi.
You're gonna give me until the opening weekend of Fast 9?
Yeah.
No,
you know what?
it is the weekend of Rising.
Yeah, you know what, Nathan? I'm done with your triple features. Sit at home and read a fucking book, motherfucker.
I'm a slow reader.
Audiobook, 1.25 speed. No, don't do that.
Yeah, dude, audiobook takes like what, 15 hours? Come on.
You're right. I own Light of the Jedi on audiobook and
there's Nathan. There's sound effects. Just imagine you're in a Dolby theater.
I know it's Star Wars audiobook.
He's 6 years old. There's sound you can listen to.
He says a long time ago in a
ballad. There's music. It's great.
Oh, that's hilarious. Nathan, there are pictures in this book.
There's no pictures in the audiobook. There's
pictures in your mind, though. That's the you can make your own pictures.
Splinter of the mind's eye.
Yes.
But what else? We have books. Obi-Wan Kenobi had the cast. The
official drop.
Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen's confirmed.
Our boy Han is the most important
cast
member.
Han
from Fast.
Sun Kang. Sun Kang.
Yeah.
Sun Kang?
Yeah.
Indra Pharma from Game of Thrones. She was the what's it called? She was Pedro's sister in the Game of Thrones. I forget what her name was in the show.
Hey.
Yeah.
She was the one who was like when Pedro died, she was like What was her character? They're from
the starts with the
island with the sand snakes. What do they call?
Does it start with an N or?
Damn.
I feel so horrible.
I feel so horrible. Yeah, I know.
Literally have watched the show 2 times through.
Me too.
And,
2 times.
Episodes multiple times.
Yeah. But Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Peace, or I probably butchered their last name, are reprising most likely, of course. The what's her name?
They're Twi'leks. They're
Ambaru and Uncle Owen.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on the names today. But also Moses.
Your daily reminder. Read the Ambaru certain point of view story.
Oh yes.
I think I'm good.
God damn it! If I have to read it.
Yeah, maybe I can just read.
You can read an offshoot,
yeah. But Moses Ingram, is she's like the black actress who we've seen recently training with the lightsaber.
Question mark?
We don't know what her role is. All these roles are up for grabs, really. Yeah. But she could be an inquisitor. I don't know, or maybe she's just practicing with the lightsaber because she just likes having fun with the lightsaber. It doesn't confirm anything.
I can see inquisitors popping up,
but she could literally be anything. It's a bounty hunter. Kumail Nanjiani is in this cast.
Yeah.
Wow,
awesome.
Did not expect that. O'Shea Jackson Jr. from the Godzilla King of the Monsters fame. And I guess Straight Outta Compton too.
Literally Ice Cube's son.
Yeah, this is such a great cast. And
who else do we have? Benny Safdie.
Yes, Benny. That's who the other guy was.
Safdie brother is starring, right?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Benny Safdie, Kumail Nanjiani. Oh, and then Rupert Friend, who I'm not familiar with, but a lot of people seem to like him. He seems to be playing a lot of villains.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a Johnny Depp lookalike a little bit. This picture, it looks like a pirate.
He looks like a pirate. It's Johnny Depp.
It's Johnny Depp in his new unproblematic role. No.
He looks like a Grindelwald.
Oof.
What else?
He's still Grindelwald, right? Just kidding. Anyways.
They started filming in April, which is great. This cast announcement was on March 29th. It's really not even that long ago.
Oh my
god.
Not at all. I will say it's 12:30 a.m.
Yeah, we can start wrapping up.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, order, real quick before we end. Matt Lanter teased that might be voicing Anakin Skywalker again. Yes. He said he's been at the studio, Lucasfilm Animation, and there will be more content with Anakin Skywalker.
We saw it. It was the Bad Batch recap. We saw the the 1 second.
They're getting back for all the little. Speaking of Matt Lanter, though, Kelly and I watched the episode of this new show called Jupiter's Legacy or whatever.
I want to see it.
Is he in that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the main son guy. It's a
Oh, wow.
superhero show. It's
From
not
Mark
good,
Millar.
guys. It's not
I heard
good.
bad things. I'm not watching it. I'm good.
It
Bad
is-
things.
I almost turned off the pilot. Like the writing is just very.
I heard
Wow.
bad. It just looked bad for me.
Basically,
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So, the end of the first they have this code where like they can't kill anybody. It's like, and they just like sit and talk and like be like, oh, we could have stopped people during. Basically, it's a pilot where they all just sit around in circles and talk about stuff instead of actually.
They
show
talk
it,
about
and
the
then,
plot of Batman Under the Red Hood. Robin wanting to kill the Joker.
Yeah, they just start talking. It's nothing is like really shown, and it's like kind of CW like kind of effects. I will say the effects
really?
aren't really that good.
I'm fine with that.
Because you definitely still watch The Flash, right, Nathan?
I haven't.
Anyways.
Started it.
Oh, really? You never watched The Flash?
No, I mean I've seen bits here and there, and I like it. From what I've seen.
But you know what? Matt Lanter was in it, and I was like, yes, I.
Okay, on a
can
side
hear you,
point,
Anakin.
our associate Emma is interviewing Matt Lanter
About the show.
about
About that.
show. And I instantly like messaged her. I was like, "Are you aware you're talking to my childhood?" And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, oh my god, yeah, he does do that." And then,
You're like, oh no, this is no casual. Oh, he's just Anakin.
Anyway, I have been informed that if she has time, she will attempt to pry more on that statement from Matt.
Oh yes.
For me. So
Give me the scoops.
get it the scoops, yeah. So we'll report back on.
We should have her back on for My Cup of Tea for a Shadow and Bone review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should
There's
have
a
her
lot
on
of shadows and there's a lot of bones.
We should have her on for a solo review because we're trying to get her to watch it.
Oh, that's right.
She won't watch
God damn it, Evan! Didn't you make a deal to watch something?
it. Did I?
I think so.
Oh,
He's
no, I
got
forgot.
too many deals. He has the Frozen documentary and
Bill and Ted trilogy.
Bill and Ted trilogy. No,
I was
he didn't do
hoping
that
you
one.
would forget that.
We're doing commentaries for that for sure because me and Carson love it.
Yeah, we will. Oh man, I cannot
Oh
wait.
my
I
god.
need Evan's reaction to what Keanu Reeves did before The Matrix.
The Last Jedi masterpiece that is Bill and Ted, A
Face the
Bogus
music.
Journey.
Oh, right. The Last Jedi, because it subverts expectations. Okay. And then we compared the third movie to Logan.
Yeah,
You
you got like God. What could I akin the first movie to?
A New
Like,
Hope.
No, like some
Oh,
other
no.
some other thing. Like I don't know. It's so wholesome, that first movie. Like
Anyway, it's Hyperspace Hype.
Yeah. Okay. As if we don't go on 5 tangents.
Bill
I'm
and
trying to make
Ted,
you guys
no.
forget about the deals I have.
Right.
Exactly.
Uh,
What do we cover like most of the main news? I'm thinking all
I
the other
think
stuff is
so.
like little.
Yeah,
bit.
we can save some stuff for next week. I think we covered
Yeah.
most of it though. But I think real quick in terms of Matt Lanter animation, I'm always excited to see Anakin again. I really, even though like I'm kind of Skywalkered out, when it comes to animation, that changes things. I'm a huge animation Star Wars fan, and Bad Batch has proven to be very good. So he could appear in Bad Batch, but I think I wouldn't mind him appearing in anything else really. I'm just a big fan of him. He could be in Star Wars Visions for all we know. No idea.
Did we see a Studio Ghibli Skywalker story?
Oh my god! Don't do this.
Oh my gosh.
Don't give me hope. I mean, otherwise, I think that will about round up things.
Yep.
That about does it.
We're back! We should do something special for next episode since it's the 50th episode.
That's crazy.
Oh my god! 50 episodes.
Have we even done 50 for My Cup of Tea? What are we at? Where are we
No,
at? for that?
30 or 40.
We're actually, I'll pull it up right now.
Cool.
But with that being said, I had a fun time. Evan, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at HarrisEv9. Like I mentioned in the podcast, Big Brother Canada 9 has wrapped. Fantastic season of Big Brother television. Now I am free to watch and read a lot more stuff. So I'll be reading a lot more of the Star Wars comic books, and I'll be trying to finish Into the Dark. I keep saying that, and I never start it or finish it. I've started a little bit of it, but I might just reread it because it's been so long. So hopefully I get very far into it by our next podcast on next Friday. So that is my big agenda for this upcoming week. I'm glad that we're back. Star Wars is back. Animation's doing good. High Republic seems very cool up ahead. So I'm very excited for what's to come.
Carson, where can they find you?
You guys can find me reading the press release from the Taika Waititi and Leslie Headland shows was exactly on May 4th, 2020, and we haven't heard anything about what's Acolyte yet.
Acolyte!
Acolyte, where are you?
Where are you?
Anyways, no, there's a lot to look forward to in the near future with Star Wars. I'm excited to dive into a summer of High Republic, catching up on comics, movies, all sorts of stuff. I got 1 week left of undergrad. I'm excited to graduate and, new chapters, new beginnings. So yeah, it's going to be good. And I got Star Wars and these guys to look forward to every week. So that makes it great. But yeah, I don't think I said where to find me, but I'm around Twitter, all those places, link in description.
At the film, Carson.
Thank you. I don't do my own plugs anymore.
I got you.
You can find me now at Nathan Ross second because I had a whole
it's still funny to me, dude. I can't let it go.
I forgot about that. God damn.
Over someone else's Man of Steel clip or something.
So many clips that just like I replied to somebody using the copyrighted stuff and they associated me with it. Make it make sense. The DMCA, you gotta love it. We are.
Let's have him on the pod.
Anyway, we're 36 episodes into my cup of tea.
Good to know.
Covering the more broad. We had like a catch up for a bit, just with that being the only show. But
right.
Now we're about to head into episode 50, so we gotta have some big bash celebration, even though we've already been doing this over a year. Yeah, man, it's exciting. You can also catch me healing from my vaccine arm because it's dying from soreness. But get vaccinated, everybody. Everyone else here has, and I was late to the party. But that being said, if you enjoyed our podcast and want to check out other stuff, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if not already. And that being said, hope you have a great day, and may the Force be with you always.